All right, a quick update. I think we got the engine all done. Here's a before and after. It looks like it'd been sitting in a barn or a field for 10, 15, 20 years. But I got it all cleaned up now, and it was going to be a quick re-ring job. But once I got it apart and took a look at the inside, I made it a little bit bigger project. They call that Project Creep. But anyway, the main issues in this engine was it had two different kinds of pistons in it, and the rods were not balanced. Two were factory balanced, two were unbalanced, and so that didn't really work. So I got the mics out, measured the cylinder bores. The cylinder bores were fine. Very little wear, maybe 1,000, 2,000 wear. I did a quick hone, and you can see the top of the piston ring right there. It's just like a shadow. You can't really feel it. And I could have honed that out a little more, but I thought it's fine like it is. Also did a quick deck job on the top of the block, which I did with a giant piece of marble. And it came out good, perfectly flat. Got it all back together. Look at that, nice and shiny. New pistons, new rings. Anyway, so let's see. What I ended up doing is I drilled out all the galley plugs, the big galley plugs, tapped them out, put pipe plugs in them after cleaning the oil galleries out, thoroughly cleaning the oil galleys out. I replaced core plugs, and here's the thing about the core plugs. These, in my experience, these like to pop out at inopportune moments, and that shuts you down really quick when you blow all the coolant out of your engine. So the trick to doing that is you put the plugs in, clean them up real nice, a little smear of JB Weld around here to help seal them in. Not seal them, but keep them from popping out. Because while you can get to all these while the engine's in the car, you cannot get to this one, or you can't get to it very easily. The engine back plate's in front of it. I've had this pop out, and I've had this pop out just a little bit. Luckily, it didn't come completely out, but it did separate and start leaking, and I had to fix that in the car. Let's see, got the engine block cleaned up and all painted. We did new pistons with rings and wrist pins. On the rods, once I put the new pistons and wrist pins in, two of the rods, the wrist pins were perfectly spot on. Two of them had a couple of thousandths extra play that I didn't like, so I replaced two, and they came out real nice. Here they are. We did main bearings, we did rod bearings, we did cam bearings, we did Viton oil seals, front and rear. We did obviously a full gasket set. You can't put an engine back together without gaskets. We did a water pump, which is not on right now. It's in the room next to me, all painted up and ready to go. I did meticulous balancing of this engine. The pistons, the piston rings, the circlips, the wrist pins, and the rods were all balanced. The rod, big end and small ends, were balanced on a special jig that I made right here. And those were like within a tenth of a gram of each other. Then I put them all together, put the pistons on the rods, and got everything balanced within a 1.5 to 2 grams. So they should be pretty close right there. Now this was a non-trivial task. That took me days to get that stuff balanced. But we got her done. Let's see. The oil pump was a factory oil pump, and I took it apart, cleaned it, and checked the clearances on it, and it was in perfect shape. So I reused the factory oil pump as opposed to putting an aftermarket pump, which I don't trust aftermarket parts. If I'll use factory parts if I can help it. I think it's better to use factory good parts even though they're used, if they're within spec, versus a new aftermarket. So it's timing chain and tensioner. Now this engine's got a double roller timing chain, and it looked brand new to me. So, and the tensioner looked pretty much new as well. So I'm reusing that. The camshaft I'm also reusing. It had about a 10,000th differential on one of the lobes, but I think that's pretty much okay for a street engine, so I'm reusing that, saved a few $100 there. I did put new lifters in, and so the cam's gonna have to be broken in again. What else? Cut the exhaust valve reliefs in the top of the cylinders, and yes, I cut them in myself, and I think they came out quite nice. And the reason I did that is my intention was to use this head. This is a 73 or 72 head. What is it, a 72 or a 73? This is a 73 cast head right there. And it's got the big intake valves. It is a 12H 2923. So with that head and these shallow dish pistons, we should have about a 9.3, 9.4 to 1 compression ratio. Because even though that has bigger intake valves, to me the more important thing is a 38cc combustion chamber versus the 43 that came on this car. So we're gonna have a little bit better compression. What else? What else? What else? That's it. So anyway, engine's done. It took a little while and it was quite fun, but it's finished and it's ready to go in a car, and I'm not putting it in the car. Plans have changed. So anyway, to be continued.